Alright, we're going to work some traps in this video, mainly using the belt squat here. I might grab some other stuff, but most likely it'll just be the belt squat. Now, I've got various bars here that we could use. You could even use the ropes. What I like to do is just take one of these handles and do one arm at a time. That way, a little less stress on my back. Now, we have a little chain here. Somewhere around here I had a big chain that I need to cut up so it's the perfect length. And I think at some point, I'm going to say, okay, this is my length chain for doing shrugs. This is for doing back. I have different chains. Maybe I'll put them on the wall. Those will be nice, for somebody, for one person, right? Now, is that sensible to do it that way? Maybe, maybe not. You got to do what works for you. These carabiners here are pretty useful too, because you can just keep adding them, and I'm sure they're good for quite a few pounds. Now, I would say that I put too many on, right? We should, in the beginning, probably have to get into this position. So, let's take one off. We'll take the big one off. Then we need to find some weight on here. Starting with 5 pounds for this is probably not going to do a whole lot. So we'll throw a 25er on there. Now, I did use all the 10s on a dumbbell that I made earlier. So we'll change that up. I don't know how the lighting is. And we'll just we'll do some different positions. Right now I'm liking the way the portrait view looks the best versus all the webcams I got going on. So trying to think which one's which. We got this guy on the floor. And that's kind of I don't know if that's a good view. We got this one here. And then we have the webcam is maybe angled ever so slightly. Not so great. Now, unfortunately, I have more webcams, but have not been able to figure out how to get them all to work. This bright light, this light seems so bright. But now, question, folks, do we want some lighting? Does that help the channel at all when we do cool lighting? Now, I just watched a video of myself where I had some red and blue on me. It made purple, and I'll tell you what, I thought that's about the best I've looked. Sadly. All right, so maybe some color combination of light on me and light in the background. That could work. This is where you need a professional light person. On my face, we can get the light on my face. All right, so let's do another set here, and maybe I might put a back belt on at some point. Might not. All right, so we'll start in this position. So, just varying how you do this. Like we do coming in from this angle. So I'll do the other side. And possibly I think we got a good length for this. So we'll just rotate, you know, how we do each one of these. I like to use that thing to work from behind. And so we'll try that. You know, you're going to see me probably cleaning up a little here and there as I'm working this. I've talked about it quite a few times. We bought the incline bench, which, man, it takes up a lot of room, right? You know, for those of you that don't have a lot of room, and luckily I have a decent amount of room, until the wife says I can't have the room I have. But until that day happens, we have a lot of room in here. I mean, it's kind of hard to see from the camera, but you know, there's a decent sized room here, and then there's a smaller area over there. I'm working on taking this whole area over and then turning to the right, which essentially will double our space, we'll say. And that would be flipping awesome if we could double our space. I need to do something here. I got these crappy tents that I never use for anything. The Sports Authority. And then I got my cap tents holding up this board back here. I'd really like my caps back to be able to actually use them. Now, I say holding up the board. It's basically, if I don't have those on there, it'll fall forward, and we don't want that. We don't want that, folks. Of course, doing this exercise, I could use lifting straps, right? Which you'll probably see me use at some point in the video. All right, so we're gonna do behind, and I could stand to the side and do this, but we don't really want this thing to pivot. You know, it's pivoting up and down, right, on an arc. But if I were to do this the other way, I might want to go that way because I don't have a 3x3 or a 2x3 post, unfortunately. I can figure out a way to do that. And I think, I hate to say it, not a 2x4 obviously, but a 1x2 in there. Maybe one that I cut exactly to 1, right? Because a 1x2 would not actually be, or 2x1. 2x1 would not be actually exactly an inch, but I could drill a hole in that would be slightly bigger than our pin, and then figure out a way to attach to the frame, and then voila, be pretty good. Now, what would be even better? Polyurethane that's a 1/2 inch thick and put it on both sides, so we have something that it would rub against a little better. That would be freaking sweet, folks. So I have all these tins over here. Now, sadly, at times it feels like I don't have enough freaking weights, you know, and then I realize I do have enough weights. I just need to get them, put them back where they need to be. So, you know, I'd love to be able to have a fixed 90+ pound dumbbell. Let me say that over again. You guys maybe have noticed the dumbbell rack. We have up to 80-pound fixed dumbbells. I can use magnetic weight to make it into an 82.5 or an 85. What I would like though is obviously have bigger dumbbells, but you know, my age, it's not realistic to say, oh, yep, we need 100 pound, 120, 140, 150, right? Would I ever be able to work back up to those big dumbbells? I don't know, but realistically, the most I could ever see myself needing right now is 100. 5 years from now, I'm not going to need a 100-pound dumbbell, most likely. I could be wrong, but we'll see how life goes and how the body reacts. So having those Olympic dumbbells, and unfortunately, it's over there. The ones where you can just add plates, 2 inches diameter on each end. You can make some big ass dumbbells, and you can do it for shrugs. So I could have 200-pound dumbbells, 120-pound dumbbells, 130, maybe even bigger, right? If you use the 25-pound plates. So you can really shrug with some massive dumbbells if you wanted to. Of course, the bigger the weight, the further away it's going to be from your body, right? If you're going with the 25-pounders. 10-pounders, you know, hang about similar to what a dumbbell is. If you had a bunch of the thin 5s on there, you know, you could get a decent sized dumbbell out of that. But what I was thinking is it would be nice to have those permanently sitting around as 90s and be able to go up from there instead of taking all the weights off, putting them back on. Is that a waste of money? Oh my God, would it ever be? But, you know, if it makes you happy. All right, so we'll try it from the side here, and you can see it doesn't feel as good as going the other direction. So I'm going to pivot back this way. I got to figure out what I'm going to do for the gym tomorrow. This is the second workout today. We did some back earlier, took a break, did some other, we did some work that actually pays money, not this joke. So let me take some weight off here. We're gonna put the 25-pounder on there. Actually, let's see the 500. It'll be easier to get off that separation there. So yeah, tomorrow, cardio, abs, and maybe I should just do an ab video. Hell, we can use this thing, put the laptop on the floor, and do planks. Matter of fact, after I do this, maybe I'll do that so we can do some planking. 3 camera view. I don't have my shoes though. I need my shoes. I do not like doing planks without shoes on. All right, let's do another set. And so, you know, how much would this cost to do if you had a power cage? Let's say you had Olympic weights. Well, the squat belt apparatus was $40. Chains probably going to cost you about $5. Hopefully you got a bunch of carabiners. The handles, I think, you know, less than 10. And so if you have weights, folks, you can do this exercise at home. And I tell you, the reality is this is just another variation of, you know, what you can do at home and on a, I was going to say on a better plane, but in a better line, better whatever. You know, if you have a hex bar, you can do your shrugs, but you're doing them way out here. And I don't think that's a good way to do it, unless you're 6'7". If you are doing dumbbells, you know, the bigger your dumbbells are, your arms are coming out further, but they're still a lot better. And nothing to stop you from doing 1-arm dumbbell at a time. You can do this with the cable. I found, though, there ain't enough weight usually at the gym to do 1-arm cables, but I can load this thing up. So that's good. Now, is it bad on my spine? You know, I imagine if I go too heavy and I'm hunching over on one side, that it's probably not such a good thing. Let's grab the hex bar, because I never demonstrate that on here. My personal opinion is that barbell shrugging is not really good for you. Now, if you're skinny, maybe it doesn't matter. If you're got a big gut or bad back, it's probably not so hot for you. So I step into this. Of course, you can use this for deadlifting. But let's say I do this for shrugs, and see how my arms, look how far my arms are out, right? That sucks. I could almost attach this bar to my belt squat if I had 2 chains and I stood here. But, you know, what good would that do, right? So yeah, you're probably not going to see a whole lot of me doing this. Now, for a variation's sake, this isn't bad, right? And like I said, if you're taller and you're wider, and I like to think I'm pretty wide, you know, so I think the reality is when you see my suit size, you know, I am pretty wide. All right. So back to what we were doing. Now I thought, you know, I told you I'm using the 10s over most of the 10s on the other bar, or 8 of them. So not all of them, but I've thought about buying more. I'm realizing, hey, convenience sake, you know, if you got 10s all over the place. But I've also thought, well, why buy 10 of the, you know, keep buying the same brands. I need to buy different ones so we can compare them and chit chat. Hey, these weigh this much. You know, the manufacturing on these kind of sucks. You know, hand holding them, but reality is the weights that you people are probably the most concerned about holding and lifting are the 45s, right? If they don't have handles on them, it's kind of a pain in the ass. If they're the big pizza pie ones or the big pie-shaped deep dish, whatever, those, you know, are kind of a pain in the ass. But I do like the old classic look to those. Now, if I had another chain or 2 smaller chains splitting off this, or a bunch of carabiners, let's say, I could do these both at the same time, right? To the front, to the back. So that is another option if you want to do it at the same time. Getting a longer bar or a lat bar maybe. You could do that as a single bar. But I got to tell you, I feel like the traps get the best work from this. Now I do have this bar, which I feel like it's, you know, for somebody my width, feels like it's 2 inches too narrow for a lot of exercises like forearms. I'd rather be out here for shrugging, you know. Yeah, I'd like another inch, 2 inches. I think everybody says that, right? If you are actually watching the video when you laughed, come on, leave a comment. That's funny, right? All right, so we're just going to keep going up 10s, I guess. And at some point, we're going to be like, okay, that's enough. But this is, you know, home trap workout. And I don't feel like you have to do, you know, 1,000 trap exercises. Now, what you won't see in this video that we would do, preferably with a Smith machine, is an upright row. So I'm going to bench in 2 days, and that exercise will work the shoulder, and it'll irritate my shoulder. So, but yeah, we'd have a bar, bring it up to chin, back down. And, it's one of those exercises you can throw some weight on there. Whether it's a good idea to throw a lot of weight is another story. So I'm going to go at 5. I thought I was going to do 10. But we'll just go with that. So this trap exercise has taken 20 minutes. Realistically, folks, you could get done way quicker than I'm doing, but I'm doing a lot of sets, a lot of volume, whether that's good or bad. Some of you might think it's bad to do as many sets, but you got to do what works for you, right? Some people's bodies react differently. Some people need a few more sets. At this point in my weightlifting career, I'm really more focused on trying to maintain certain muscles and trying to get my strength back more than I care about the overall size of some of them. But I could be mistaken. That maybe I do care about getting a lot of size on me. So, ideally, let's see, we're January. By April, May, okay, hopefully when you look at me, you'll be like, wow, he lost a lot of weight around the waist. But his arms look the same size, but they look shredded, right? That would be awesome. Though nobody's gonna appreciate it except me. So the channel is like the first level of monetization, and we're taking our jolly old time to get fully monetized, but I can't figure out how. I got 2 things I have to do. One, add like 200 subscribers, 210, whatever it is. They're trickling in. Could we get more? Figure there's a lot of people out there. YouTube Shorts, if you guys haven't done your own channel or trying to make, if you can do something outrageous, funny, fail, add so many more subscribers. Obviously, if you're a good-looking female, boom, your shit'll blow up, right? If you're willing to do certain things, we won't go into that. And then, what else, folks? I think what else? Yeah, something like that. So I gotta figure out where I want to mount this here. Oh wow, I only bought a single barbell holder. I think, to class the place up a little bit, it would be good, to put this somewhere. And it's got to be, well, the bars are 7 foot. And the ceiling is 8-ish foot. Maybe it's 9 foot. I don't know. I'm not really sure how tall the ceiling is. If that bar is 84, there's way more than a foot over it, but not that much more. So it's like, I think maybe it's 8'6", something, whatever the hell dimension they went with. I wish it was a foot taller. It would just feel like that much room here in here. But you know, this guy has to be. I basically got to put a barbell up against the wall, figure out where it's gonna, it's gonna sit here somewhere. If you guys can even see that, probably not a single view can see that. But it's got to sit right there, and so whatever the dimension is from here to the bottom of the barbell is realistically where we need to be. And I might buy more of those, right? But got to put it on a stud, and so I think one or two over here in different spots might be kind of cool. Put some other accessories, weightlifting accessories in. The ambiance, organizing stuff better, and making this wall look better. Expansion, more equipment, more exercises, more, technical talk. So many things I could do, and including, maybe do some weightlifting competitions, meet some fellow powerlifters. Now, right now, I would probably be pretty sad with how much I could bench press in a competition, or I might be surprised that I could lift what I can lift. I always talk about when you're lifting the bar off the rack and you don't have a spotter, you can't get a good arch in, you can't set yourself, and if I could do that, then we're turning it more into a decline bench, right? And we know I can bench more weight decline. So I don't know if I did my left side, folks. I'm gonna just do another left side. Feels like we're doing way more right. So, not that we're lifting it, but we've got 85 pounds on there. Feels pretty heavy. Now this is a place where, hey, maybe I do need more 25-pound cap plates. Maybe I don't. We still can get a lot of 10s on there. We could buy more 5s. I thought about that. And we do actually have a lot more 10-pound plates of various brands. We've got more 5s. On the other side of this power cage, there's more 10s, but took some off the dumbbell. I think we'll probably do what you call it. What's that thing called? I'm thinking of. So we need the weight belt now. Starting to feel the weight. So last Thursday, we did pretty heavy flat bench, right? Had to take the weight off the rack, 355, 1 rep, pretty easy, good bar speed. Some people you'll see like, ugh. So I was well within my means, and there was more I could do, right? More in the tank, but I got to get. If I'm going to compete, we got to get into a pause, which also means doing some explosive, lighter weights with explosive. We're using the Bench Daddy. It's no doubt. It feels like it's doing something for the triceps on the pressing aspect. And, so the only thing I've been concerned about with the Mad Dog and the Bench Daddy is that I'm weakening my chest by not hitting them heavy. or as heavy, but I start my workouts, you know, probably way too many sets, but we start light, you know, raw. Then somewhere I put the elbow sleeves on, I put a belt on, keep going, and then we get up to, you know, recently, what, I'm not even sure there's a video for it. I thought I did 315 for 4 reps, which is kind of a joke for me, but it is what it is right now, right? That's what I can do. My age, 315 for 4. So from there, I went 1 rep 335. Now, maybe I could have did 2 reps, you know, 3 reps. Well, not 3 reps, but probably could have did 2 reps, right? Or we could have did 325 for 2 or 3. I don't know. But if we go back and we did pause all along the way, well, 315 pause, we might get 1 or 2, right? You know, 335 pause, we'd be lucky if we get 1. 355 pause, probably not going to happen at all. Now with the spotter, you know, maybe there's something different there. So if I'm ever going to compete, and I honestly would rather compete equipped, even though it's heavier weight, I have if I can have something that's going to help protect my shoulder, then, you know, that would be good with me. Now, bulking up other muscles like I'm doing, besides back, chest, tries, not really beneficial for, you know, entering a powerlifting competition when let's say it puts you in the next weight class and you're like, oh, well, I'm even heavier. And unless I'm competing against a bunch of locals, right, that are, you know, working out at home or golds, and let's assume they're tested and everybody's natural, maybe I can compete, you know, at that level, right? The next level up, could I compete? You know, no. And I say compete, like if there's 20 guys, I'm in the top 10. That's where I would want to say. If there was, you know, regionals and there was 50 guys and I ended up in the top 25, that's, you know, maybe I can compete. If the next level up, there's 100 guys competing and I'm in the top 50, you know, but I'm not nowhere near any of that. The fact that I'm on the south side of 400 benching means that I cannot compete with anybody at a, you know, national level. So it's be a long way to go for me to get there. And that once again assumes it's drug tested, because obviously somebody like myself, we could start doing some performance enhancing drugs, assuming my joints and ligaments can handle it. You would expect 25-33% more what I'm lifting now, and next thing you know, what would that put me at, folks? Well over 400, almost 500 pounds, you know, so that would be pretty awesome, but not something I want to do, right? So we'll just keep it the way it is. Now, if I retire completely from being worried about being drug tested, and I just want to look strong, stay feeling young, I might consider it. All right, so that feels a lot better with the back belt. So I might just change the workout up this week, you know. It might be time for some pause benching. I'm not going to do benching with my feet off the ground. I'm not a big fan of that one. know, the slingshot would be kind of fun to do with a pause, but it's probably not worth the time because it's starts to just accelerate, you know. It helps accelerate a little bit. That one, you know, might as well just crank them out. But yeah, I think the goal, I got to do some sets like I've been doing, so I can say, hey, yep, I am in the same boat, right? I mean, we could put 317 on there and try and get 4 reps and feel like, okay, I got a little stronger than last time, or maybe 320. Try and get 4 reps. You know, if I'm going to do pause benching, it's going to be at lighter weights, and or if I'm going to do, if we're going to do chains or something, it's going to be a lighter weight. Now, it seemed to me, folks, that you could take a collar, attach a chain to it via carabiner, right? And might not even need to do this, but here. Yep, can't fit that on there. So if I could attach this to a chain, preferably, I don't know whether it matters if you go through both ends of this thing, but if I could do that and then hang a weight down and then wrap this around the inside of a plate, and at the bottom, you know, so you lift off, well, you lift off, the weight is in the air, right? And you bring it down, and the weight is on the ground. Bring it, you know, further down, and then you press up, and then somewhere in there, the weight comes up off the floor. If I were to do something like that, that might be a nice little strength builder. Some aspects, at least that big pop at the end, you know, because it just got way harder. Of course, you start with, you know, you can start with microweights. 1 pound extra, you know, we feel that. I mean, reality is when you're benching, folks, the amount of weight I can lift out here versus, you know, from here up versus from here, this is the least amount, obviously. This is, you know, quite a bit more, and then this is a lot more. I mean, hell, we picked up 430. I would imagine I could still, I guess I could still do it, but with the bench sling, or sling, excuse me, with the, what the hell's that thing called, Bench Daddy, it feels a lot easier picking that weight up off the rack, right? But the reality is, you know, unless it's helping you, like adding more chest as you're doing it, you're still using a lot of arm just to get it off. So I don't know. All right, this is the last set. 30 minutes into this trap workout. And maybe we'll do a set of let's get on that. Maybe since we have the cameras out and I can see it on this one, we'll go ahead and do a set of planks, 400 planks, and I'll do them just in my socks. All right, so I'm taking these off. There's the wrong spot. Yeah, 25 on that side. Maybe the 25 is going that side. Yeah, I think I'd like to pick up more cap 5-pounders. if I'm going to have everything look the same, then we would get maybe some more 25s too, but that over a little bit. I just don't know whether I'm kind of stuck, folks, between saying, hey, get yourself more plates from other brands to check out versus, hey, let's get some more cap and just have crap match. So I'm not real sure what I want to do there, but I'm going to take a decent trip here. We'll be gone for a while. We'll be doing videos still, but the videos will be from hopefully different gyms. Might be the same one over and over. Might see me doing some crap from my room a little more than you would here. And then what else? When I come back, I'm going to buy a bunch of shit probably for the gym. Might just, God, when you get old, folks, it's hard to get down like this. All right. So this one is here. And this guy, like that, hopefully. Now, I wish I could figure out how to shut down the camera on the laptop. Okay, so everybody else can see. You know, most common thing on this, people do these, they don't get their butt down far enough. You know, the more you do this, the more it seems you're cheating. So we're gonna try and slowly get back into this. We'll do a couple short sets. I gotta get back up to being able to do a minute 30, 2 minutes, maybe even up to 3 minutes. But that is a grueling exercise. So yeah, so we'll come back, we'll buy a bunch of gear. Then we'll bitch and moan that I should have bought better stuff. Now, you know, like this, so far we've got two things in here that probably not going to see me bitch and moan too much about. One, this incline is really solid, right? But, you know, the thing about it is it weighs a lot, uses up a lot of room, whatever, right? But I got it super cheap, surprisingly. I mean, heavy duty, you're not going to get that same thing out of this cheap power cage. Even if I put a good adjustable bench in there, the power cage feels like it's shaking apart when I take the weight off and when I put it back down. So now I wish there was a way to make my feet like super stiff. I'm gonna stand up for a moment. when I'm doing that, because when if I find a pair of shoes that are really stiff to do that in, they would be so much better. How somebody could do planks for 10 minutes, half hour, an hour, I'll never understand. Even if you had ridiculously strong abs, how does their back handle it? I mean, it just doesn't seem realistic to me. So, yeah, when I come back, I got my decline bench. I got this incline bench. I want to buy, part of me wants to buy a real flat bench, but it's like, then I don't have spotter bars. So then I'd have to buy one of those setups, that have the bench and the spotter bars built in. This power cage, I think we will take it and buy the hammer strength half cage or half power cage, whatever. Because I think I can do military press in that one. And I could probably do flat in it, but I'll probably leave this as my flat setup. So we'll just leave the flat bench where it is. Pegs, everything, perfectly set up. Now because of this gizmo here, I couldn't put another rack next to it, but we do have other space in here. So you would see me probably, we'd have to move all the gear around, the cameras, lights. But around the corner, we'd have a spot for another power cage. And in that one, I'd do probably the military press. Do I need to, though? That's the thing. Like, I could just keep buying other gear, other stuff that makes more sense. Oh, we were supposed to do our neck workout today, folks. But, yeah, this video is long enough, I think. So we'll do another set of these and call it a day. And done. Okay. So, all right. Keep forgetting that this is touchscreen. Nope, it's not. All right. And I think we'll just throw in the neck thrusters in the other video. So we'll have one long ass video. So I'm going to start. Where did I put the flat bench? Okay. I'm going to start with the front, I think. Or we'll do them together. I'll do both of them at the same time. All right, folks, so with the three-way cam, this is going to be a neck workout. For the profile, you've already seen me do traps, and so that's one big, long video. I need to find my harness. Where did I put that thing? So we're going to do 2 neck exercises, working the front and the back, and so I've got this belt squat device here, and it is I've had a couple weeks now. Been using it for different stuff. And so the goal would be, you know, I'll be in this position, I'm going to lift up. So I have to take at least one carabiner off here. And then, so we're just working this way, right? Now, as discussed in a previous video, I said, oh, I need a bunch of 2.5 pound weights, right? So what I didn't do, let's go ahead and take this off for a moment. What I didn't do is have these set up. You know, the neck is a pretty big muscle. You know, will 2.5 pound plates be enough? Maybe, maybe not. So we'll have those. We'll have some of our 5s ready to go, and if necessary, we'll grab a 10. Hopefully, all within arm reach of me, right? All right. So, like I said, we're going to try and we'll do this exercise first, then we'll do the opposite. Not using this though. We're going to use our bumper plates. Now, if I had somebody, might be able to do it by yourself, but if I had somebody to add weights every so often, it probably, you know, if I wanted to use this and switch it around to the back, you know, it would be better. So this isn't the most comfortable thing in the world, and I've told myself, you know, I really like to get a 4-way neck machine. And there's a reason I want to keep my neck strong. We won't go into those details. Obviously, if you're watching this video, you also feel the need to have a strong neck. And it looks like, lo and behold, one of our cameras is off. So, sorry about that. If you watch this video, can't rewind. Alright, so this harness that I'm wearing is available at Walmart and Amazon. I would say find one more comfortable than this one. Chain you can get at Home Depot, carabiners, you know, Walmart, wherever. I'll tell you, I'm feeling that. We didn't put a lot of weight on there. Right now, you know, the weight of the device, and that was 7.5 pounds on there. So I haven't been working the neck this way, right? We've been doing it the other way. We've gotten up to some pretty heavy poundages. Now, if I had a stool, I might be tempted to try this from the other direction. But, you know, like I said, unless you have somebody line you up good, kind of hard to tell if you're doing it right. So I don't think we're going to get too heavy on this. We might not even get through all my 2.5 pound cap plates. We could get maybe a dozen of those on here, which should, you know, add up to what, 30 pounds or so. Of course, we have a lot of other plates we could put on there. All right, let's try another set. I just thought of something. I have some wings in the fridge. I wonder if my wife has finished them off, because I'm going to finish them. I need the protein after this. So one more 2.5 after this. I think then we'll switch to the other side. But yeah, having a strong neck, not a bad thing, obviously. Getting a car crash, probably not a bad thing to have a strong neck. Get in a fight with somebody, not a bad idea to have a strong neck. And then, you know, for fitness and bodybuilding purposes, a bigger neck can look better, right? A big, thick, muscular neck can be kind of intimidating. Like you could just look big all around, but if your neck's really, you know, bulging out and stuff, people might be like, wow, this guy's really strong. So, multiple reasons in there for why I want my neck to be stronger. And some others. All right, so we're gonna do one more, then we'll switch to the other side with the bumper plates. I'll probably get a sip of Diet Coke. Now the other video has been going for almost an hour. Man, I make some long workout videos. You know, if you're following along at home, hey, works out great, right? You can go, okay, time to do another set. Work out at your own pace. I like to basically go again when I feel like I'm close to 100% in recovery, you know. So not everybody feels that way. There is another spot on this thing. So I just noticed. I'm going to be able to use that for the back side. All right, so that's good. We will, you know, continue to do this in the future and maybe get stronger as we're doing it. I'm just going to clean up a little while my neck recoups. All right, so got that. I just want to pick shit up. All right, so now unfortunately this thing has to sit there, so we're gonna try and do it this way. I might have to move some shit. This might get in the way. I wish I was set up with an external monitor, because that would help me tell if we're actually getting the footage that we want to get. So this thing is pretty close. And I just put the thing rested on my head. So I won't be working out in this gym tomorrow, but the day after we'll be in here. Now and I've talked about what I want to do in here, but this wall, I think I've come to the conclusion. We're going to have diamond plate, change out the electrical outlets, or the plastic cover with some metal looking thing, or black, or dark gray. Of course, the outlet would look better if it was also painted black, but black or white, or it was a different outlet. So yeah, I think the other side is set up that way, or no, actually they're white. So we'll have that, then paint, you know, work on the ceiling, the texture, everything, have that good. Mirrors, and then above the mirrors, hopefully, will be like a banner, you know, the Weight Slayer gym. Maybe it'll be on that wall. Maybe there won't be any mirrors on that wall. Maybe there will be, though. I think that'd be good to have mirrors over there. I actually kind of wish I had a profile length one, like a big mirror over there. That would be so good. So the neck, the traps are warmed up. just gonna, I think we'll speed this up a little. But yeah, so much to do. I should really think like, hey, once you get monetized and you start seeing the 30 cents come in per day or $3 per day. I think based on, excuse me, how many views I'm getting, I'd be lucky. I'd be lucky to make $1 a day right now. Now there have been days where I've had 30,000 views. Well, not in a day, but over 2 days had 30,000 views. But that's still only like $2 and some change. It's still not that good. All right, let's just jump up to 215s at this point. So we got a long way to go. Long way to go, folks. Now I do have fitness stuff on 2 other monetized channels, and those are, I guess we'll just go to 45 pounds of these things and maybe call it a day on that. Normally I go up to 55, but I don't feel like it today. Some days you just gotta be within your means. But yeah, so some of the weightlifting stuff's on other channels. Might see 30, 45 cents each time I put up one of those videos. Might see 20 cents, might see 5 cents. But if I can get to the point where I'm making, what do we need? Probably need $30 a day to buy some decent gear, consistently buy decent gear, right? So I have, there's just working out, making those videos, and there's investing in the channel and buying stuff and reviewing it and this and that. There's all that stuff. Oh, okay. So, and this is the last set, folks. Okay, and we're done. So Nick feels, like he got some work. Thanks for checking out my video. Please like, please subscribe.